for the first time in history, less than a decade ago, chronic diseases started killing us more than famine, pestilence, bacteria, viruses, all those things combined. So we actually are dying from chronic diseases that are right now not being managed, and that's the reason why we're seeing this broken system. So what's happening? There's not, and so I think that there's this solution there. And that's kind of the way that I've worked my whole career, is looking at, whether it was lowering the price of alternative energy with one of the world's first solar funds, or creating the first LEED multifamily project to lower energy usage and to streamline construction in a way that was built for the future. If you could do that in this system, in the healthcare system, then it's a really massive opportunity. And today, the way that it works is that Big Pharma strangles innovation and slows it down. And they do that because the costs of the late stage trials and the redundancy and all of these different systems that they've built in through decades of setting up this system. And the outcome is that over 90% of the drugs are created by small biotechs, but they then have to sell to Big Pharma at some stage. And when it gets put into that Big Pharma system, then you end up with higher prices, less access, and the system it's an unbelievably opaque system. There's no transparency whatsoever. There are reimbursements, there are disclosed reimbursements, there are insurance companies, there's all these things. So it's not like when you go to the grocery store and you buy a lemon and it's $1. It's not like it's like you go to the grocery store, the lemon's $5 and $3 go to some guy that you've never met that never saw the lemon, and then $1 goes to, this other thing, and it's that opaque. And so the problem is when you explain it, and you've seen this and heard it, it turns into it looks like alphabet soup, right? It's just a bunch of acronyms and letters and things and tiers and all this stuff. And that's not necessary. It's just not. It's built to obfuscate the truth, right? It's built as a smokescreen to be so complicated that and it basically covers up the fact that it's broken, right? Why would a cream that's a prescription drug that we make in the United States cost 10 times more in the same bottle and the same cardboard packaging with the same label as it does in Canada, right across the border? Why would that be, right? And the answer is three-letter acronyms and all these different things and all this stuff. But the truth is, how do you solve that? You solve that, and this is the big hairy thing that I'm doing and thinking about now as my purpose here for fixing the system is actually really elegant, right? Instead of all of that, allow an America First Pharma plan where you literally get to go and do a direct negotiation with these biotechs for disruptively low prices, right? We're talking less than 1% of the existing price structure. And in so doing, you actually create a path where the natural flow of innovation is opened up through another channel. So instead of the only path going through Big Pharma and into that system and into the next system and into the next system, you actually get to create another waterway, right? Another stream of innovation. And honestly, for me, the reason I like it is the ability to force real innovation in the biggest areas of need. And in so doing, Big Pharma will do that once they see that they can potentially participate in it. Maybe they'll do that in the future. But at the moment, they're not going to do things like that because it affects their profit and it affects the system that they've built. So that's what I'm thinking about.